Terry Ray Gordy Sr. was a professional wrestler who was best known in North America for being a member of the Fabulous Freebirds. Career. Gordy started wrestling in 1975 at the age of 14 as Terry Mecca for the International Wrestling Association. In early 1979, he began wrestling under his real name and formed the Fabulous Freebirds with Michael Hayes. Buddy Roberts was later added to the group. In 1982, the Freebirds went to World Class Championship Wrestling and had a heated and memorable feud with the Von Erichs where they traded the six-man title back and forth a few times over the years. Gordy was also at one time one half of the WCCW American Tag Team Champions. The Freebirds spent some time in the National Wrestling Alliance's Jim Crockett Promotions where they split a feud briefly, but later reunited. They also spent a very brief time in the World Wrestling Federation, but left after management suggested splitting them up. In 1986, when the Freebirds were in the Universal Wrestling Federation, Gordy won the UWF Heavyweight title and held it for 6 months, before losing it via forfeit to the One-Man Gang, after an angle the same night in which Gordy was injured by Dr. Death Steve Williams. During this time, Gordy and the Freebirds had an ongoing feud with the UWF fan favorite Hacksaw Jim Duggan, in which Duggan and Gordy frequently squared off, usually ending in a disqualification because of outside interference. In 1989, Gordy helped Hayes to reform the Freebirds, with Jimmy Garvin, in Jim Crockett Promotions, which became World Championship Wrestling in 1991. Later he, alongside of Dr. Death Steve Williams, defeated the Steiners to become World Tag Team Champions. After leaving JCP, Gordy teamed with Steve Williams as the Miracle Violence Connection in All Japan Pro Wrestling. During his time there, he also held the Triple Crown Heavyweight Championship on 2 occasions. Gordy and Williams moved to World Championship Wrestling in 1992 and won the WCW World Tag Team titles. They also won the NWA World Tag Team titles in a tournament at the Great American Bash card in Albany, Georgia, 1 week later, and unified the titles. Their feud with Rick and Scott Steiner, in Japan. This was hyped as a feud between the best foreign teams of the two top Japanese promotions. Despite advances by New Japan, Gordy and Williams, out of loyalty to the AJPW founder and promoter, Giant Baba, refused to compete for the promotion, leading to Gordy's departure from WCW before Halloween Havoc and Williams' departure after Starrcade. In 1993, Gordy, while traveling from the United States to Japan for a tour, took an overdose of pain medication and slipped into a coma, ultimately suffering permanent brain damage. He returned to action later that year, but never received a shot at the Triple Crown again. In 1994, Gordy had a small reunion with Hayes and Garvin as the Freebirds in the Global Wrestling Federation, where he and Garvin won the GWF Tag Team titles. In 1996, Gordy showed up in Extreme Championship Wrestling to challenge Raven for the ECW World Heavyweight title. As the internationally recognized #1 contender, he had been working for the International Wrestling Association of Japan promotion in Japan, wrestling death matches. He lost, but went on to team up with Tommy Dreamer and later to reunite with Dr. Death Steve Williams to wrestle the Eliminators. He also wrestled Bam Bam Bigelow in what was billed as the first ever Battle of the Bam Bams. Gordy lost the match because of outside interference from the Eliminators. He had a brief run in the WWF as The Executioner. In 1996, he teamed up with Mankind, both managed by Paul Bearer, and feuded with The Undertaker. The Executioner came to the ring under a mask and carrying a plastic axe. He made his TV debut at the In Your House pay-per-view, Buried Alive, where he interfered in The Undertaker's Buried Alive match with Mankind, hitting him with a shovel and burying him with the help of several other wrestlers. However, at In Your House 12, It's Time, The Undertaker made short work of the Executioner in an Armageddon Rules match, and Gordy left the promotion shortly afterwards. Gordy died of a heart attack caused by a blood clot on July 16, 2001. He was 40. His son, Ray Gordy, wrestled for WWE on the SmackDown brand as Jesse and Slam Master Jay, before being released in 2010. His nephew is Richard A. Slinger, who competed for All Japan Pro Wrestling as Richard Slinger. In wrestling, finishing moves: high angle belly to back suplex powerbomb. Signature moves: big boot DDT, dropkick, oriental spike, pile driver, running leg drop, running power slam, Samoan drop, STF, torpedo lariat. Managers: Sunshine Paul Bearer, Jim Cornette. Nicknames: Bam Bam, Ning and Jai-O-Rai. Original powerbomb. Championships and accomplishments: All Japan Pro Wrestling Triple Crown Heavyweight Championship, World Tag Team Championship with Stan Hansen and Steve Williams, World's Strongest Tag Determination League with Stan Hansen and Steve Williams. Georgia Championship Wrestling, NWA Georgia Tag Team Championship with Michael Hayes, NWA National Tag Team Championship with Michael Hayes and Jimmy Snuka. Global Wrestling Federation GWF Tag Team Championship with Jimmy Garvin. Mid-South Wrestling Association, Universal Wrestling Federation Mid-South Louisiana Championship, Mid-South Mississippi Heavyweight Championship, Mid-South Tag Team Championship with Michael Hayes and Buddy Roberts, UWF Heavyweight Championship, NWA Mid-America, NWA Mid-America Tag Team Championship with Michael Hayes. Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame Class of 2015. Pro Wrestling Illustrated PWI Most Improved Wrestler of the Year, PWI Tag Team of the Year Award in 1981 with Michael Hayes, PWI Tag Team of the Year Award in 1992 with Steve Williams, ranked number 31 of the top 500 singles wrestlers in the PWI 500 in 1992, ranked number 36 of the top 500 singles wrestlers of the PWI years in 2003, ranked number 3, number 16, and number 34 of the top 100 tag teams of the PWI years, with Michael Hayes, Steve Williams, and Stan Hansen, respectively, in 2003. Southeastern Championship Wrestling, NWA Alabama Heavyweight Championship, NWA Southeastern Heavyweight Championship, Smoky Mountain Wrestling SMW Heavyweight Championship, Texas Wrestling Hall of Fame Class of 2014, World Championship Wrestling WCW World Tag Team Championship with Steve Williams, NWA World Tag Team Championship with Steve Williams, World Class Championship Wrestling, World Class Wrestling Association, NWA American Heavyweight Championship, NWA American Tag Team Championship with Michael Hayes, NWA Brass Knuckles Championship, NWA World Six-Man Tag Team Championship with Michael Hayes and Buddy Roberts and Iceman Parsons and Buddy Roberts, WCWA World Six-Man Tag Team Championship with Michael Hayes and Buddy Roberts. 2. Wrestling Observer Newsletter Awards 5-star match with Stan Hansen vs. Genichiro Tenryu and Toshiaki Kawada on December 16. Best Brawler Match of the Year with Buddy Roberts and Michael Hayes vs. The Von Erichsen and Anything Goes match on July 4. Tag Team of the Year with Buddy Roberts as the Fabulous Freebirds. Tag Team of the Year with Jimmy Snuka. Tag Team of the Year with Steve Williams as the Miracle Violence Connection Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame, as part of the Fabulous Freebirds. 1-1 While WCW was still affiliated with the National Wrestling Alliance and prior to the NWA and WCW World Tag Team Championships being briefly unified. 2. The Freebirds' fifth reign carried over after the title's name was changed to the WCWA World Six-Man Tag Team Championship, since they were the champions at the time the title was renamed.